at Corpach. We've photographed this boat twice before. The first time I had the crappiest filter ever on. It was one of those variable filters that you can just sort of go from maybe 3 stops through to 10 stops, and it left a right horrible film all over my image that I just couldn't do anything with. The second time we came, it was blowing an absolute gale, and for some reason we did a 4-minute exposure. We tried to shelter the tripod as best as we could. The image came out alright, and what I'll probably do is I'll show you those 2 images. You could just see a little bit of shake in that image on the boat that, when I look back at it, annoys me. So even though we photographed this area twice before, this boat twice before, we wanted to come down for sunset and see whether we get any light on Ben Nevis in the background. Again, the light's quite flat, it's quite moody, but fingers crossed we'll get a little bit of something, and if not, we'll get some drama. So the tide is coming in. It's 3:30, 25 to 4. Sunset is in 15 minutes. So far there's nothing, just grey, but that's been a bit of a theme so far, which is fine. Bit of moody, bit of dramatic. Taken a couple of images already and they're looking really, really nice. So the fact that we've got a grey sky doesn't really matter. I think as a photographer, every time you come out you always want that colour, that orange, that pink, you know, all of the clouds to catch. But what the reality is that more often than not when you come out you're faced with grey, flat conditions, and it doesn't stop you from coming out, but you've probably just got to work a little bit harder at getting the image that you want. Before I go anywhere and set up the camera, I see in my mind how I want the image to look, and usually 9.9999 times out of 10 it doesn't end up that way, but that's because the light and the conditions are never going to be perfect. You've got to make the best of a location when you come to it. So the foreground interest that I'm using for this shot is this waterfall, river even. I'm obsessed with waterfalls. So this little stream, river that's coming into the sea, I'm using as the foreground interest. Obviously I've got the boat in the background. It's probably in the midground actually, because then we've got mountains, which is Ben Nevis, in the background. Probably not going to be able to pick it up, I think, on the image, but Ben Nevis has got a little bit of snow on it. I think probably because of the cloud it's covering it a little bit, which is fine. So the only thing that I've got on my lens at the moment is a polarizing filter. I've got a 1 second exposure. I'm on f9 and ISO 100. I'm going to take another shot. I'm also using mirror up. And yeah, really pleased with these images. So I've changed the composition slightly and I've just hired the tripod. I've got the same sort of image, if you like, so I've still got the water in the foreground and the boat in the background, but just lifted the tripod just to give a different perspective. The lights obviously fading, and we're now just on 4:10. So what I've had to do on this shot is increase my ISO a little bit, because I don't want a short long exposure. So I wanted it still at around a second, just to give me a little bit of that detail, rather than it smoothing everything out. So I've increased my ISO to 320. I'm debating to do a long exposure and put a 6-stop in, just to pick up some of that movement in the sky. So I'm going to do that now before it gets any darker. So it's going quite dark. I've set up the camera with a 6-stop Nisi filter. I don't need any other filters because it's quite a nice, evenly balanced image. So the 6-stop is giving me 4:20 exposure that I'm just probably going to need to keep an eye on as it goes a little bit darker. So what I'm hoping for is that movement in the clouds. As I say, last time we was here, that's what I went for, and it was alright, but not as I wanted it. So we'll see what we get today. So far I'm really happy with what we've got. Just nearly 4 o'clock now, and as you can see, there is no cloud whatsoever, no colour whatsoever. So we'll see what happens. We'll maybe just take this last exposure and pack up and go home and have some tea. So we're on countdown. We've got about 3.5 minutes to go, give or take. Like I say, I'm going to leave it a bit longer just because it is getting quite dark now. If this image turns out, I'm going to be really, really pleased with it, because the clouds are moving, so hopefully it'll be lovely. But we've had an absolutely perfect day, even though it's rained, even though we've got 100% low cloud. It's just so nice to be back in Scotland and enjoying it. So we've packed up and we're going to make our way back to the car. We're just standing under a little street light now in the hope that you can see us. Really, really pleased with those images. We're going to go home now and make some food and edit them. So looking forward to that, and as always, thanks for watching. Again, if you've enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, maybe leave a little comment, and if we're really lucky, you might subscribe. See you on our next adventure. Adios!